Hello, my name is Blair Braxton, and this is my 2020 budget project. So our school, we are a public university with 18 teams. Our ratio for men to women is 53% women and 47% male. We currently have 8,500 students, and our budget is $5 million. So for men's head coaches, for football, since it's a popular sport, I decided to give them the most amount for their budget. So they received $85,000 for their head coach. The soccer coach received $40,000. The track team, since it's an indoor and outdoor, they received $30,000. Baseball received $50,000 for their head coach. Cross country received $30,000 for their head coach. Basketball received $60,000. Tennis $35,000, and lacrosse was $50,000. So for the assistant coaches, put them on one slide. For football, again, it was a popular sport, so I gave them a lot of coaches since the football requires a lot of different coaches to coach the game, different aspects of the game. So they received $64,800. They had an assistant coach, a special teams coach, an offensive coach, and a defensive coach. The soccer team had two coaches, so $15,000. So basically, one coach received $15,000, and the other coach, I was thinking of putting him as a graduate assistant, so he could help the team in the form of credits. So for track, I did a similar thing, since the track team is indoor and outdoor, it's the same coaches. So I had four assistant coaches. Again, track is another sport where you have to specialize in certain things. So I had an assistant coach, a jump coach, a sprints coach, and a field coach. The assistant coach is seen as the highest out of all those coaches, so he received the 10,000. And the other three coaches would be graduate assistants that would help us out for credits. The baseball team received $10,000 for one assistant coach. Cross country, 10,000 for one assistant coach. Basketball, 30,000 for two assistant coaches. The assistant coaches, one is an assistant coach, and the other one is like a video coordinator. He does other things with the team, helps them out, which is in a lesser role. The tennis team received 10,000 for one assistant coach, and lacrosse 20,000 for one assistant coach. So the women's head coaches. So for volleyball, they received $40,000. For soccer, the head coach received $50,000. Track, similar thing. The head coach received $30,000. Softball, $40,000. Cross country, $30,000. Basketball, $60,000. Tennis, $45,000. And lacrosse, $50,000. I tried to be within Title IX guidelines, so I made sure that both sides had equal amount of teams, and I tried to make each respective team on both genders have similar amounts of money. So the women's assistant coach's budget, volleyball received $20,000 for the assistant coach. They have one assistant coach. Soccer, similar thing with soccer for the men's side, $15,000, two assistant coaches. Track, same thing, 10,000. One for the head coach, and then the three assistant coaches for the graduate assistants. Softball, 10,000 for one assistant coach. Cross country, 10,000 for one assistant coach. Basketball, $30,000, same thing. Video coordinator and the assistant to the head coach directly right under him. Tennis, him or her. Tennis, $15,000 for one coach. And lacrosse, 20,000 for two assistant coaches. So these are the administration budgets. I decided to make them all the same amount, but they mostly divided up evenly too. Some I did differently, but I gave them $70,000 for each department. I decided to come up with ticket sales. Tickets are important to sell. Athletic performance, to make sure that all of our players are in top shape. Financial department, which I ended up splitting between budgeting and financing. Compliance, so that all of our players are eligible to compete. Title IX to make sure that the genders are equal and that everything is within the guidelines. Risk management, just in case anything happens. I also broke that into two things: fan safety and athlete safety, and facilities. So this is the budgets continue. This is a breakdown of the budgets. So mostly ticket sales, like I said, department head $50,000, assistant $20,000, and you can see that for mostly departments. But for some of them, I made it different. Like I said, for financial department, the budgeting received $35,000. Financing received $35,000. Risk management received. I broke it down to athlete safety $35,000 and fan safety $35,000. So the other expenses, it was team travel, which was $407,550. The men received $201,080. Women received $202,950. In administration, which would be coaches and things like that, other people who travel with the team who aren't the athletes, they received $3,520. And then the uniforms came out to $195,690. Men received $103,400 of that. Women received $55,000, and administration received $37,290. Game expenses, officials, keeping the courts or any the places that they play up to date, things like that. That came out to a price of $116,380. And the men received 63,470 of that. Women received 39,270, and administration received 13,640. So this is a culmination of all the expenses that I came up with for the budget. So men's teams received $540,000. Women's team received $460,000. Administration received $490,000. Contingency line is basically a select amount of money that we use just in case anything comes up that we weren't expecting. We could use that money in order to fix the issue as fast as possible. So we used $500,000. And $500,000 I thought was a good amount because for any one sport or any department is more than enough to cover it. So team travel came out to $407,550. Uniforms was $195,690. Game expenses was $116,380. And the total expenses was $2,709,620. Our budget was $5 million, so we could have spent more in select areas, but the good thing is that we did not go over the budget.